We're going to make an entire database now using SQL. That means we're going to make all the tables and fields, field types, field lengths, primary keys, foreign keys, using SQL. And this is the one we're going to make, and you can see it's quite big. I've got 8 tables here, and I've opened up a Microsoft Word document, and in here I'm going to write down my SQL, which I'll copy from my database in Access. I'll do this step by step so that you can see exactly how to do it, and this is the kind of level that you need to be at for the assessment. Not for the class test, but for your own database when you make it. So I'm going to create this document and call it, put my name up here, Kenny Hutton GCUCars using SQL. And then down here I'm going to write down my SQL for each table. I'm going to copy it in from my database. So the next step is I'm going to make my database. So I start a blank database, and I'm calling mine week 5 GCUCars step by step. And then I'll create. As usual, Access gives us a field we don't want, so I'm going to delete that by going into the design view. And actually I'll delete this whole table. Just right click and delete. And we'll do the whole thing from SQL, from the Create tab, and then Query Design, close, and then we need, up at the top left, we need the SQL view. Click on that, and here's my SQL for this. Now there's some things in here you might not know. Sorry, take that task one out. Create table, that's the instruction, and the table will be called car models. Then we open up a bracket to put the field names in, and we have car model ID. Now you don't know this part. Counter primary key. Counter will put an auto number in, an access auto number. Primary key will make this the primary key. Then a comma. Then the next one, make the text 20 for that field. So make the field length 20, and not null means we have to put something in there. Then we have model, text. So the make is a kind of car, the model is what sub-kind it is. So this could be a Honda, model could be Civic. Again, not null, we want to put something in that field. Then we've got a field for engine size, and this time it's a number, not a text. And then we've got engine type, and that's going to be text as well. Bracket to finish off, and semicolon, then run. Then we'll try and close this query. Do you want to see the changes? Say yes. And we'll call this one car models SQL, and then OK. Now we'll do the next table, and the next table is cars. So again, same process, create, query design, close, SQL view, and this time we have a table we're going to call cars, and in this one we have a registration, and that's going to be text, 8 characters, that will be the primary key. Then we have colour, date of registration, date time field this time, mileage integer, so no decimal point, and then we have a yes no field. So you've done all these kinds of fields before, but not using SQL. And then we have model ID, and that's going to be a long field. And then here's a new one. The foreign key will be the car model ID. Now that is going to come from the car models table. And then references car models, car model ID. That's another table. We'll come back to that one. But let's implement this SQL and then try to close and save and call this one Cars SQL, and then OK. Let's see what they look like now. If we look at the car models table, we haven't added any data, we're just creating the table. And in the design view you can see there's an auto number, text, text, number, text. In the text you can see the field length again for this one. Let's close that and we'll look at the cars table and design view. And there you can see the variety of things we put in there. There's a yes, no. Field size is 8 for the registration. And then let's close that one. And let's see what they look like in the relationships window. We've created a relationship already and enforced referential integrity. How did you do that? You did it in here. You created the two primary keys, this one and this one. You created the foreign key here and you made it reference. That's the end of this video, but in the next video I'm going to go quite quickly and just build up other tables and explain things briefly on the way.